today we continue to declutter and organize and clean my kitchen. Last time I shared my decluttering on different cabinets and the video was just too long, so I decided to split it into two. So today we are starting with the sink, then we're gonna move on to the spice cabinet, and then I'm gonna do the pantry. Plus, I decided to declutter my cookbooks, my recipe binder, so that's also included in this video. There's definitely a lot of motivation. I really wanted to get that kitchen done, going through all the cabinets, all the drawers. There are probably still a couple of drawers actually left now that I think about it. They don't need any decluttering, perhaps just kind of the regular cleaning, so I think I'm gonna leave that for spring cleaning. But overall, I am happy that I was able to go through specifically my pantry because that needed the most help. And it's always a good feeling to, once you finish decluttering, to see how much you were actually able to either get rid of or reorganize, just make it more spacious in your cabinets. So let me know in your kitchen what is the cabinet or drawer that needs the most attention, or one that just tends to collect the most clutter, because I feel for me that is definitely the pantry. And I'm going to talk about some of the changes that I have made over the past few months to help me not to gather so much clutter in my pantry. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom of two. And on my channel, you're going to see just a lot of things about organizing, decluttering, just home management from a working mom perspective. And I have been on this decluttering journey for over a year now. Now, when I say journey, that journey I feel started a long time ago, but I feel the one that I actually went on a year ago is the one that is sticking, where I don't find myself finding, clutter, the same clutter I had a few months ago appearing in my cabinets. I am trying to get into like the maintenance mode where I still have to go through my stuff, but it's not feeling overwhelming anymore. It's just, part of life and something that, we do on a regular basis, just like we clean on a regular basis, but it's not becoming overwhelming like it used to, where, after a few months, it was basically back to square one. So that is what I'm doing right now in my house, going through all of the spaces again. As you can see, there was not that much to get rid of from my spices cabinet. I just wanted to wipe it down and make sure that I don't have anything that was expired, and there were a few cans that were. So that's exactly what I want. Just, a quick declutter of spaces to get back to square one. And this is my pantry, and I apologize for the quality of this. For the next, I think, minute of the video, I have accidentally changed some setting on my camera, and it looks like, I don't know, like an old style movie or something. I don't know what I did, but I didn't realize it until a couple of minutes into recording. So very shortly you're gonna see we're back to normal. But the reason why my pantry needed some help is not that it was not organized, if you will. Things are clearly in containers. It might, when you're looking at it, you might think, oh, what is she talking about? It's organized. Well, it is organized. However, I have noticed that I have too many bins and I have too much stuff in that pantry. Specifically, all the stuff that I had for different types of flowers. Probably about, a year and a half ago, maybe even longer, I signed up for a trial period or maybe even like a yearly, I can't remember, for Thrive Market. I don't know. I saw it obviously on some video, probably of another YouTuber or something. And, I went there. They had so many great products. And I ordered a bunch of flour, that like different kinds, like almond flour and oat flour. And I haven't been using any of them. I think I used oat flour for some recipe ones, and the rest was not used. And it's all expired. So that's why you see me dumping stuff, because this is of a silly decision to get something in hopes I'm gonna be using it, or I had intentions of using that and I never did. So that's why my pantry needed some attention, to get rid of the expired items, not to restock them because I am not using them, and getting to that understanding that just because something sounds good and sounds healthy, unless I have a plan in place to actually use it, not to get that. So let me know if you had at any point a problem like that when you were getting maybe a healthier options of food and with good intentions, but you never used it. So that's the main reason I wanted to tackle the pantry, to get rid of stuff. There is also things like with all the different pastas. I am still trying to figure out the best system, because I feel like I don't see a point of dumping a container or like a package of pasta into the container if it only fits just one package, and then I use all the package for cooking. Like, it's just an extra step for me. So I'm trying to figure out which ones make sense to put in the container and which ones make sense to just keep in the original packaging downstairs in my overflow pantry, if you will, just to make it simpler and not to add extra step, just to make things look prettier in my pantry, if that makes sense. So it's definitely a learning process, but I was very excited to, like I said, get rid of all the extra flour that I never used, and it's just cluttering my pantry.
I've been dreaming so much lately about your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me. Hey, I don't know if I told you that I think you're beautiful, and how I can't wait to hold you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know what I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now.
And my daughter really wanted to help, so she was just taking stuff out of the pantry. This lower portion didn't need perhaps that much decluttering. It was just mostly just wiping down the surfaces. I was reorganizing a little bit now that I got rid of all the flour. I had some extra space, so I was trying to rearrange a little bit to see what makes most sense. But there was not that much stuff to get rid of or move somewhere else. And the main reason why that happened in this, because I had issues with that lower portion of the pantry, because I feel like we had too many snacks or too much variety of snacks. So what I mean by that, we would have just a bunch of different chips in there, a lot of different types of like sweets or sweet snacks, I should say. And over the past few months, I just decided to stop doing that, stop buying so much variety, because my kids tend to just stick to the same snacks. They have their favorites, and that's what they eat. And if at any point they want something different, I will get it, but I'm gonna get it in a smaller portion of it, so they can just eat it, let's say, over the weekend when we have company, and not have to put it in special bins and containers. So that's why I think, at this point, we found it just so much easier to just stick to our favorites and get something extra for like special occasions. It makes the pantry much more organized. It creates just a better system, so the kids are not faced with a decision, which snacks should I get. There is so many options. And also, it in the long run, it honestly is saving me money, because if I bought too much of a variety and then I put it in the containers, they would be there for too long and some of it would just get stale. So it's not like it expired, but it just didn't taste the same. So if you're struggling with that as well, with too much of a variety of snacks, either store them in in the original box in a smaller portion, so doesn't get stale, or just buy less and just stick to your favorites and buy the other variety for special occasions.
I'm on cloud nine. I don't wanna be without you. This is something that I know for sure. It's just something about you. I just want more. Tell me what you wanna do right now. Tell me what you wanna do tonight. I really don't care as long as I'm with you. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine.
And as you can see, I have some bigger appliances on the bottom. I have a KitchenAid, I have an air fryer, and I also store my toaster in here. And that is because I'm trying to keep my counters as clear as possible. I still have stuff on it. They're not clear, they're not minimalist, but I just found it that's what works best for me, since I don't use them that often, to put them in a pantry. And these are all the empty containers I got rid of from the pantry. So this was the clutter that was there, extra things that I did not use. It was just taking up space. And this is the end product. And maybe you don't see it as much as I do, but there is much more extra space in there. So I reorganized it a little bit. I put all the flour and sugars on that lower left corner right there. So it's all in one spot. Before it was taking up two shelves. And I have some empty space on the top. There was extra space on like the second or third shelf. So it might not be as visible to you, but I promise you it made a huge difference for me. And now we're moving on to going through the recipe binders. So I have a recipe binder, as you can see right here. It's organized into different types of by meat, I think, type. That's what I had it, and some like appetizers. But what I found is I had too many things in there. So I have a separate binder for all the desserts that I wanted to go through as well. And I just wanted to kind of go through everything and see what I actually am using and what I'm not using. Because it's almost like, people say when you go to your closet and you have too many options, you're kind of are not sure, what to choose from, what to wear. It's the same thing with my recipe binder. I have too many options. And when it's time to meal plan, it takes me forever to decide because there are so many options. And truly, I am not using all of them. I'm sticking to the same things all the time. So I wanted to go through it and truly say, okay, am I actually gonna, did I ever make it? And if I did I like it? If I did not, if it was just okay, I'm gonna get rid of it. Or if I haven't made it in a long time, that means I'm not gonna do it, because every time I look at it, there is something that's stopping me from trying it. So I got rid of a ton of recipes. I had quite a bit from HelloFresh, but some of them were just, too similar to each other. So it didn't make sense to keep all of them. So you're gonna see the pile at the end of all the things that I have gotten rid of. And I will tell you, I did it probably 2 weeks ago now. 2 or 3. It is so much easier to meal plan. It is so much quicker. I just go through it quickly and decide what I want, what I don't want. It has truly made this process much, much quicker. So if you're struggling with the same thing, I highly recommend going through your binder, saving your favorites, and making it easier on yourself.
Stepped into my life, such a magic feeling when you tore down my walls. I wish I could go back to right before you told me I'd try to change it all. But look at us now, could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again. Strangers again. We're like strangers again. I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again.
And I stuck to the same organization as I had before. However, I changed my categories a little bit, because what I was afraid of is going through my dessert. So like I said, I had my recipes, for meals in one and desserts for another. And with the dessert binder, initially, as you can see, I put it on a side and I was not sure if I'm gonna go through it that day. But I decided to go through it and I got rid of most of it. And the reason why I'm saying it was hard is because those were majority of the recipes were from my mom. And my mom passed away when I was 17 years old. So it's almost like a sentimental thing for me. So that was what was stopping me. However, I already have her old recipe notebook that I keep as a keepsake. So it's not like I'm losing it. So I just kept the one that I truly were I was actually baking and not all of it. So that's the binder. I was still deciding on the categories at this point, but I decided to combine my recipe binder into one, both of them into one, because I got rid of so many dessert options that there was no need for a second one. So it's all in one. As you can see, I got rid of quite a bit of stuff, and this is me going through that dessert binder and literally getting rid of majority of it. I took out our favorites first, and then I just got rid of everything else. And I truly like those protective sheets for recipes, because then I just pull them out. And when I'm baking, when I'm cooking, I tend to splatter things or touch it with my dirty hand. It doesn't get dirty that way. I can just wipe it off and move on, versus before I would have to reprint something because it just did not look very appealing. And I also got rid of the only 2 cookbooks that I had left. They were from 100 Days of Real Food and Weelicious. They were both great cookbooks, but again, I have my favorites from there that I already know how to do, and they're already part of my recipe binder. So I was honestly not using them. I used the recipes from them, but I already know the recipes, and I did not use anything extra. So I decided to donate to someone who might use them. And this is my recipe binder right here, and it's just nicely organized, and it's not so huge as it was before. 2 into 1, those protective sheets take a bit of time, but you can see there's plenty of room to grow as well. So I hope this video gave you some motivation for whatever you're tackling today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Strangers again. I thought we'd never fall. Could have tried much harder. Now all we have are scars. You said we'd get so high.